To get a free estimate.
Green bathroom. Check out our great selection of over 100 Magic Woods vanities. This Sheffield vanity is $219.79 after rebate. I'll pay your home
Hello and welcome to Full Moon's Videozone. We're obviously on an appropriate set for a full moon movie. We have mausoleum, coffin, corpse, a big skull. These pictures are getting weirder and weirder. You know, we have a film coming out called Shrunken Heads. It's actually playing theatrically right now. It's about these three kids who meet an untimely death. This bizarre Haitian witch doctor brings them back to life, shrinks their heads, gives them superpowers, and they avenge evil. Oblivion's coming out real soon. It's a sci-fi western about cowboys and aliens. We have Dark Angel, which is about a chick from hell. We have some very weird shows that we're making, very horrific shows under the Pulse Pounders heading. Pictures like Castle Freak, as Stuart Gordon is doing for us, Subhuman, Dollmaker, Voodoo. Nothing but weird and bizarre movies for you fans. And of course, I'll see you on the next edition of the Videozone.
Full Moon Entertainment rips you to shreds with H.P. Lovecraft's Lurking Fear.
And that's it for the dialogue.
Writer-director C. Courtney Joyner follows up the successful Trancers 3 with his adaptation of this classic work.
I sat down with a short story and tried to come up with an approach that would work, being, if you will, slavish to H.P. Lovecraft. And it didn't work for me. The problem is that the story itself really is not about much. I saw in this a vehicle to do like kind of a tough crime movie with horror overtures. Now my mind generally thinks in that direction anyway. But then go back to Lovecraft and retain the themes that I think Lovecraft was personally interested in. The family that inbreeds and degenerates and becomes these things.
It's your family reunion. After finalizing the script, Courtney assembled the perfect cast.
I wanted John Finch in the film, and that was really wonderful because he's adding immeasurably to the movie, and he's absolutely dynamite in it.
Well, I'll make all of this very easy for you. I'm just here for the money.
And then Ashley Lawrence came in, and when Jeff Combs agreed to play Dr. Haggis, that was it was a huge plus for me. Jeff has an identification with H.P. Lovecraft, of course.
Oh, okay.
That's not the only thing the veteran Full Moon actor can be identified with.
I don't know, but I keep getting cast as the doctor. Even before Reanimator came along, I was like a medical student. Of course, Dr. Mordred, just your average run-of-the-mill mystic sorcerer. If there was a Miskatonic, I'd be head of the medical unit at this point.
Jeff could start by consulting on human anatomy for Full Moon's makeup effects team. They certainly had their hands full.
Well, this is a heart that's just been pulled out of a human body. For this shot, we've just rigged it with a blood tube at the top. So after dressing it with blood, we'll pump blood through it. It'll just continue to drip out. Very good. Another 6 bleeding heart.
I am prepared to sacrifice myself.
Actually, I'm all heart, so most of me is torn out at the end of the scene.
So I walked with only a chosen few, like special effects actor Michael Todd, can handle the arduous task of ripping people apart.
my job. This is what I do for a living. It's unbelievable.
But it's not all fun and games.
As far as the makeup itself, it takes about 4 hours. The makeup guys will say 3, but it's 4. And to have a job where you're supposed to sit still and do nothing for your first 4 hours, it's not a bad job. You can't complain about that.
But why does someone who can do this, and this, and this have to be led on set?
I can't really see.
So what's the main attraction of being a creature?
Dress up like a monster and chase pretty girls around for a living. Where do I sign?
But Michael and the creature had some pretty tough competition.
She's not a victim, but she still has humanity. So it's not just like a ninja woman,
Right.
because there's a conscience there,
Right.
you know, but she's very strong.
A strong physical presence requires practice.
I'm good with a gun now, and I knew that was very important because she trains for years, so I really have to know what I'm doing, and that's a great opportunity, especially living in Los Angeles. It's a good thing to know. Yeah.
Practice can become a bit of an obsession.
We've been rehearsing, as you know, at Castle Sterbe, you know, in the hallways, in the dining rooms, outside, in the streets of Bucharest. Yeah.
We live, eat, and breathe lurking fear. It's now an obsession. It's beyond obsession. It's into need. We have to do it. We must do it, or we die.
That thing almost killed me.
Hey, that's the first time I thought it was on our side.
Death can be a positive thing. After a long stint on location, it means finally going home.
Being the last guy to survive on a picture like this, everybody's going home again the next week. Kill them, they go home. I'm thinking about trying to save a couple of them at this point.
Apparently, Blake wasn't too successful.
Baby's really tough. Come on.
Allison Mackey seemed like she could have handled it.
I've never done a full out fight before. So this is kind of, this is really taxing on my body, actually. I've had to do a lot more running and some weightlifting and stuff like that to get ready. I am supposed to look like a judo expert, and I find that really funny.
The Martens family isn't the only one with a dynasty and lurking fear.
I wrote the role for Allison Mackey, who's playing Ms. Marlowe, who also happens to be my cousin. I had Allison in mind, and the thing was, I just brought her in on the auditions, and she was terrific, and she just blew everybody away.
Do not get up, Allison, until I pick you, okay?
Gotcha.
Yes. Okay. Slow down. Here we go. And action, please. Allison. React.
Ooh, we really are good together.
Lurking fear, an explosive horror experience.
You are continuing to persist with your seditious nonsense about the world above.
I want to walk under the golden orb that I have dreamed of.
Within sight of the Almighty, you speak blasphemy.
I won't live a lie, Father.
Dark Angel is about a demon girl from hell who is escaping her father, a very strict father indeed. And she comes to Earth, and she falls in love, and she learns about the concept of forgiveness. The demons in Dark Angel are actually servants of God, and like Satan, they fell from grace with God at a certain time, and now they serve him, but they are relegated to hell forever. And all of them have the hope of somehow serving God at some point out of hell. And so Veronica is actually blessed because she's an agent of the first cause. and the first cause is doing God's will. So she's doing more work from him out of town, up on Earth. Dark Angel does have her own code of ethics, which are very inflexible. Anyone who commits any sin is condemned to death, really.
Hey, you better keep moving, miss.
And allow you to do violence upon this man without cause?
How would you like to spend the night in jail on a prostitution charge?
How would you like to die in a state of mortal sin?
Whatever they were doing, we can't have people running around trying to take the law into their own hands. I mean, that's why we have police.
Punishment of evil is the highest virtue one can ascribe to, Max. God's will must be done.
The romance between Max Barrison and Veronica is quite strange because the thing that's important to know about Max Barris is that in the first scenes we see him in the emergency room, and he's had quite a tough time of it because he faces all sorts of horrible situations every day in the ER, and in a sense he's at a loss of faith. So when he meets Veronica, he feels that she's in a sense been compelled to him because he had lost faith, and now she's there and she's really telling him that there really does exist heaven and there really does exist hell. So in some way this good work that he's doing every day is worthwhile and appreciated.
I'm here because I was compelled to.
You found me because I was lost.
You have little faith.
Veronica was played by Angela Featherstone, and Angela didn't have a lot of previous experience acting for film, but she's so extraordinary looking and she looks so incredibly beautiful on film that it was, in a sense, just a matter of her interpreting this idea of who Veronica is. Hell was visually influenced by not only comic books, but by certain painters. It was influenced in some way by H.R. Geiger, and it was also influenced by one particular comic book that's a Japanese comic, I think, called Densogo. The fact that we happened to find the volcano location was just sort of incredible good fortune, because in fact a lot of the images that I'd looked at had a sort of volcanic landscape. Hell was shot in a fantastic place in Romania, in a 17th century castle that had been built by a man who was very wealthy, built this enormous castle, and then fell from his wealth, and the whole area dilapidated completely. He just let it crumble. It looks almost like it's been bombed. What was interesting about it was that it had a series of archways, and there was also the possibility to light the walls on fire, which isn't really common in most of the locations you go into. And I quite like it that way, in the sense that the film seems to have its own... It takes place in its own time, and so it also takes place in its own locale. And I find that quite satisfying about it.
Don't you know what
I personally tend to be more interested in cross-genre and sort of hybrid sorts of stories. And I think that that's something you see in the work of women directors. Dark Angel definitely isn't in the genre. It's more in the genre of a journey film and a rite of passage film and a love story, in a sense.
Some kids are always getting picked on.
Just give it back to him.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
Come on, you guys.
Look, Sally, could you just stay the hell out of this, okay?
Even when things seem to be going their way.
You're trembling.
The bullies won't leave them alone.
And that's for putting your hands on my girl.
But these kids have someone watching out for them.
Whose boy's property you?
Someone special. But even he couldn't save them from their fate. They're dead. But not for long. I command Awaken. What happened here?
I can't feel my body. I feel so weak.
This is so bad.
Now the little guys are in charge. Shrunken heads.
Installation costs with our Christina Across America offer, and no interest and no payments for up to 1 year.
The darkest depths of hell. You know the law. You know it is forbidden for us to leave this pit.
I would happily pay the consequences for a single day of freedom.
An avenging angel has found the gateway to a world of unchecked evil.
The demons from hell are coming!
A world called Earth.
It is only you who would make the ascent wearing your own flesh.
Heaven has chosen her to judge our souls and send sinners. Please! Get away! Straight to hell. Who's ever responsible for the killings is probably on some sick quest. On a mission of vengeance. The last thing she expected to find was love.
I want you to accept me into your dwelling.
Now, passion.
Are you attracted to me?
Veronica, you are a complete and utter mystery to me.
Will control her fate.
It's not in my nature to turn away from evil, Max.
Are you responsible for those murders?
I'm not human, Max. I turn into another person. A person that might repulse you.
Hell has no fury like the Dark Angel. Who the hell are you?
Don't you know what I am?
Dark Angel. The Ascent. When Rick Myers tapped into the secret of artificial life,
That's the formula.
he became the master of Andre Toulon's puppets.
The future is yours, Rick, as well as the magic. Guard and protect it and keep it from evil.
Now, his newfound power will make him a pawn.
And you say there are several of these puppets still at the hotel?
Between a corporation.
Now, once we're inside, what we're looking for are 6 springless puppets.
And a demon from hell.
The others, are they still in the hotel? Just pick up anything that looks like a puppet. Something's not right.
One will stop at nothing to capture the puppets.
You think these things are dangerous? Oh, please, not ridiculous.
The other will unleash the forces of darkness to destroy them all.
Oh, you are beautiful.
We have their magic. They're gonna keep coming until they get it back to our total stop.
Oh, my God.
Puppet Master 5, coming soon from Full Moon Entertainment.
Benjamin Knight
was an ordinary man. Until a battle for the ultimate machine turned him into something more than human.
Benjamin Knight's come back. Imagine what an army of invisible men could do.
Now, with abilities beyond sight and an ally of circuitry and steel.
Kill the machine!